Ah, Roma, the Eternal City. There's the Colosseum. You can't go wrong with the Colosseum. What a beautiful place. Obviously, I got my quadcopter out of Hawk. That was a beautiful villa in front of Rome. Visiting a seaside town, well, a lakeside town close to Rome. Beautiful. That was only about like 9 kilometers from Rome. What we did to get here actually is we took a couple Fiats. Cinquecento, these 2 Fiats, but more on that story later. Man, I love flying that quadcopter. It's super fun. Actually, I think Ethan might have done that flight. We've been alternating, having a good time. Volcanoes in the distance, the countryside, but let's go back here. Here we are in Doha, and I'm hanging out here in the airport. That's a giant teddy bear with a lamp on its head. I don't really know what's going on there. But I'm trying to get my stuff out of customs. You can see the customs related goods right here, right beside the prayer room, where I spent some time praying that I get my quadcopter out of Hawk, which I did. Here I went up to go visit the kids and the family. They were sitting up in business class, and I said, like, I went to the lounge, not the same lounge as you guys, and here is the bread that I found. I'm sure you guys had some great bread, but my bread was actually display bread, which they thought was funny. I think it's very strange they would put up some beautiful bread and say it's display bread. All right, and then we got to Rome, and we went immediately to the Vatican. Look at that. That's actually how the statues were originally painted. They were colorful. Isn't that weird? You know, Augustus had red hair and was a ginger. And then we went to the Pope Mobile Museum, which sounds super lame, like who'd want to go there, but it's actually really awesome and nice. Nobody was there, and it was just us looking at all the different ways that the Pope moved around Italy and the world, you know, for the last several hundred years. All kinds of chariots and horse-drawn things, and really cool place. I think the kids enjoyed seeing this. They don't know much about the Pope, you know. I went to a Jesuit Catholic high school back in Dallas, so I'm very familiar with all the Catholic catechisms and whatnot. And they have this sort of video there that replays of John Paul II getting shot. There are the classic Pope mobiles and all the kinds. Okay, do you see this amazing art piece? That is actually the exact same size as that globe that is on top of St. Peter's. There's Commodus there from the first Gladiator movie. He was, of course, played by Joaquin Phoenix. This is actually a really cool place. There's over 1,000 busts in here. And we looked around at different places. This is another room that's full of all kinds of carved animals. There we are. That's Jupiter. We had countless halls and domes. Beautiful statues here and there. Over here, if you see this sort of purpley kind of granite, this is a very unique granite, and they say there's none of it left in the world, and it was used for these royal sarcophagi, supposedly a granite that's unique only to Egypt. Here's a ceiling. They have all these frescoes. Look at that. There's a camera there. This is one of the first references to any kind of like modern camera technology in the Vatican, kind of saying that it's the same as any other kind of art piece. So do you see this? It looks like there's shadows, like the light is making shadows. These are actually paintings to look like shadows. Well, not actually shadows, but it actually, it's like mind-blowing how much it looks like it. Here's yet another hallway with incredible paintings. This is not the Sistine Chapel. You're not allowed to take photos or video inside the Sistine Chapel to see Michelangelo's great work, which is too bad. I would love to do that. By the way, this is all obviously filled with the Osmo. Just having some fun with it. Look at that. Isn't that fun? It's one of the funnest little video tools I've ever used. Super smooth. And what a place. I really recommend that people come to Vatican City. I've been here to Rome 5 times, and this is the first time I've ever seen this place. There we are getting some fresh water. You can drink out of any fountain in Rome. The whole place used to be fed by 13 aqueducts, now just 3, but it's all fresh water. Here we are going up into St. Peter's Basilica. Really beautiful. It's like the longest and biggest church in the world. It's just so big it's mind-blowing. There's one of the popes. They have a lot of mummy popes in here. They're all mummified. It's a little weird to go see all these really old dead people, but I guess it's okay. There's lots of people praying in front. A little creepy for the girls to see all these dead bodies, but I think they got over it. Really long church. I took a lot of photos in here. I just kind of moved around. There's a Swiss guard. They only have Swiss guards there now. The Pope only decided that the Swiss were the most trustworthy, and so they have to be under 30. They have to be good looking, and they have to be quite serious, you know, as a lot of Swiss people are. Here's the main St. Mark's Square. That was our guide there, Diana. She was really nice. There's one of the obelisks that was captured from Rome, or sorry, captured from what? Oh, Maria. Sorry, Tina's talking in the back. That was Maria, not Diana. I'm sorry, Maria. Here we are at a cooking class. We went to go make some homemade pizza. Again, very nice people. They didn't speak much English, but it doesn't matter. When you're cooking, there's only kind of like one language. The girls are making their own dough, throwing it down, making super homemade pizza right out of the flour and all that stuff. Yeah, they had a great time. Here they are making some tiramisu. They're making the bottom layer. They're kind of dipping those things in lemon juice and doing the eggs, now whisking the egg yolks and the egg whites. And they're going to mix it with some cheese here. What kind of cheese was that, Tina? Do you remember? What kind of cheese was in the tiramisu? What? Mascarpone. Mascarpone. I always say mascarpone. I don't know how to say it. There's Tina grating some cheese. Back to making the pizza. We got two things going on at once here. We got tiramisu and pizza happening at the same time. By the way, we're recording this here. We're here in Venice, so we're a little behind. For the girls, they're putting olive oil on there. Then after it's all done, we pig out. Non-stop tiramisu, non-stop pizza. And we're a little sad because old Maria, what was her name? This girl's name? Not Maria. What was the cook's name? The chef name? Valeria. Yeah, she kept all the extra pizza. We thought we could keep some pizza for ourselves. And then we found an Apple store, and they had my photo up on the wall. Can you believe it? And then I said, hey, that's my photo. So they go, oh, you took that photo, so we all came out for photos. And here we are. We're back at the Piazza della Repubblica. That's the Boscolo Exedra. That's where we stayed right there. Beautiful fountain. I almost flew my quadcopter here, but I had some undercover cops come up to me and say, not a good idea. All right, now fast forwarding here. We are on the Fiat Cinquecento, Fiat 500. That is the 1967 Fiat that the kids were in. And we were over in there in the 62, Tina and I, where we put the tripods and some other goodies in front. There's my everyday messenger. We're throwing in the back seat. There's me and Tina. We got to ride together for a while and have a good time. Before the kids got a bit feral in the other car, and we had to split up. We had to kind of calm these girls down a little bit. They fight, kids. Even though they're in, heaven, they're in Rome, driving around these beautiful cars. They still find a reason to bicker and whatnot. All right. Anyway, we're driving down the main road here. We're on the way to the Tina, what's the name of the main road? It's called the Appian Way, right? One of the original roads. Here we are on the Appian Way. Sort of a straight line that goes right to the middle of Rome. These are not the original bricks, but we're about to get to those. There's the kids back behind us. This is one of our stops. That's one of the aqueducts, one of the 13 aqueducts that used to feed Rome. Of course, now it's all in ruin. There's the city wall that's around Rome. I've never been outside of the city walls of Rome. I was quite impressed at how big the walls were. Going down the Appian Way, you see just ruin after ruin after ruin. They're really beautiful. So here we are going up into the mountain villages, about 10 kilometers outside of Rome. There is a wine festival here where at 5 p.m. all the water fountains turn into wine fountains. And like wine flows out of all the fountains, and everyone can drink. And then our driver said basically by 5:30, everyone in the town is completely drunk and happy. There's me and Isabella. We're riding in this car together. This is after we split everybody up. Now we're heading back into Rome. I love these tall, beautiful trees. There's the remains of another aqueduct. We're heading back in. We're going to have some lunch and relax a little bit. There we are. Isabella is taking a video for her best friend Isla, who she misses, who now moved to Singapore. Later that night, we went to dinner at this place called Eataly, Eatilly. I don't know how to explain this place. Here we are in the cheese section, but it's kind of like, if you live in the U.S., I would describe it as sort of like a Whole Foods, like on steroids, like with 4 floors, so much food, and there's kind of a combination of like grocery store and like 10 different restaurants inside. Every kind of food that's possible. We didn't buy any food. We just ate and ate and ate. You know, we were like the biblical locusts, just like ripping through this place. It was great. There are all these little walkways that take you from floor to floor. You know, whatever you want is in here, basically. Your favorite kind of food. This is kind of the wine area, where you can try all kinds of different things. There's a giant place full of meats and cheeses, and it's all very fresh. Actually, they say that this was built for the 25th Jubilee, and it was abandoned, and then the businessman decided to take it over and turn it into this crazy kind of place. That was where the cooking school is. Okay, now we're finally back to our room. At the Boscolo, they were nice enough, and they gave us the presidential suite. That's Ethan. He did not go to dinner with us. He wasn't feeling all that well, and he kind of passed out on the bed there. And so here's Isabella giving us a little tour of the room. They converted the extra room in the suite to added 3 extra beds, which was very nice of them. It was a great room, and that's a little desk, which I thought was supposed to be mine, but Ethan took it over to play Team Fortress 2 and play the piano and make some songs. Yeah, there's Ethan. That's not his, he's not in top form right there. He'll probably kill me for putting that up there. That's actually my little area over there. You can see I have finally the extra Hasselblad, and I got the new Osmo, which I'm in the middle of setting up with some vitamin C and some other cold medicine there. There's Tina in there cleaning up because she knows I'm about to come into the master bedroom. We had to package up the extra Hasselblad to send back to those guys because there's just something wrong with it. We can't figure out what's happening. We're trying to diagnose it via email, but it's just impossible. So here's the main room. This is the awesome bathroom where weird stuff happens like that. That was Isabella just acting silly. So let's open this up and you can see what it looks like outside. This is sort of a top view of the Piazza della Repubblica. A beautiful piazza, and there's a beautiful basilica just across the way. So many great places to visit in Rome. I mean, just a few days in Rome is not nearly enough. Anyway, there's me and Isabella saying goodbye to everybody, and we're about to jump on a train, and next we'll see you in Venice.